Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Thursday, May 6, 2021, and we are again in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions, because during the day you have the day traders and you have the algorithms. They are the ones that are in control of the price during the middle of the day. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in, they take control away from the day traders and the algorithms, and I consider them to be the smartest money on the street. Very smart people that work there, best information, best technology, and they deal with a lot of money, and so they move the market near the end of the day. And I believe those price levels are the most valid prices in the long run to make your buying and selling decisions from. So thank you all for coming today. It's always nice to see everyone. I hope you are having a good day, a nice day. Interesting day in the market. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 124 points, up 0.37%. The NASDAQ is down, however, down another 81 points, down 0.6%, and the S&P 500 is up slightly at 4 points, about 0.1%. But appreciate you being here. I appreciate you investing your time here, and I hope that you are learning something valuable about trading and investing, and you're getting some kind of return on your time investment. And thank you for everyone that participates in the group. There's so many great contributors here, and just want to thank you as well for doing that every day. So here's the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we are going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I also had one day trade today that I will share with you that worked out well. And then after that, we're going to go over to the board. We're going to take a look at my students' positions and go through. There's only 4 of them. I can't believe this, that there's only 4. As you know, usually we have 20, 25. So that's interesting development, but we're going to go through those and we're going to take a look and see how they're doing. After that, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. As you know, it is the most important skill you can learn in trading and in life. Controlling your emotions, creating a plan, and following that plan. But when you're dealing with money, when you're dealing with fear and greed of money, it's an easy thing to get your emotions amplified and destabilize you. So, really the main tenet for me of trading is keeping a level head, keeping right in that kind of happy zone where the positions that I am taking are they're large enough to make a difference, but they're not large enough that they're going to throw me off of my game and get me off my plan. It's a fine balance. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy, but the longer you trade, the more you'll kind of calibrate that in. So we'll spend a few minutes talk about trader psychology. After that, I have gone down through my watch list today. I have gone down through all the results of Kamal's scanner, and I have picked a handful of potential end-of-day candidates that might be good entries at the end of the day, as long as they fit my 3 criteria for taking a new trade, which are, number 1, you need to have a good confluence or a combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Very important. I look at indicators, I look at entry triggers as different groups of buyers, and you will put yourself in the position to the best position to have a profitable trade if there are as many buyers as possible from different entry signals on multiple time frames. So, if you take the opposite of that and you take the extreme of that and you are the only buyer and everyone else is selling, you wouldn't expect to probably have a profitable trade. So you want to flip that on its head, get in the company with as many other buyers. That is what improves your chances. Number 2, even if you have a good confluence or a combination of indicators, you have to have a good risk to reward ratio. This is very important. And I see a lot of new traders say, oh, well, there's a signal. Yeah, there's a signal. There may be a confluence of signal, but you also need to have the risk to reward. At the beginning of the year, I made a goal for myself that I was going to be extra persnickety or even more choosy about risk to reward ratios, and I have been, and it's worked out really well. And it's the same in life, getting to a business, anything else, there's risk to reward to everything. And so you always have to analyze that. Is there more reward than there is risk? And in regards to trading, 2-to-1 is my minimum. If I'm willing to risk $100 to the downside, I need to be able to make 200 or more to the upside to make it worthwhile. And then number 3, always please have a complete plan of what you are going to do with any kind of trade, whether you're long, short, crossover, deep dip buy. Doesn't matter. You need to have a plan. Are you adjusting your position size based upon the volatility of the market? Do you know what your maximum allowed loss is? Do you know where your emergency stop's going to be? Do you know where your end of day stop's going to be? Do you know where your intraday profit targets are going to be? Do you know where your significant overhead resistance levels are going to be? Do you have a trailing stop protocol or plan in place to lock in profits without letting them, giving them all back? So, you always hear about, you have to have a complete trading plan, but in my experience, most people do not. So hopefully I can teach you that here with the trades that I take and, the questions that I answer. But if you have any questions about this, don't be shy. Please let me know. I'm very happy to help. Anyway, so with my end of day candidates, I'll try to narrow it down to like the very, very best one, taking into consideration the 3 requirements that I have. And if I find one, I will purchase it close to the close of the market. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them, happy to clarify anything. Number 2, if there are any stock symbols that you think are interesting and you would like to have my opinion on, put them in the chat, put an emoji by it so that I know it's time sensitive, and I will do my best to get to it before the end of the day. And lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits today, if you could please wait till the end of the day so that I'm done teaching, pressure's off, and the market's closed, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get it all taken care of. All right, so that's the plan for today. Hang tight. I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's take a look and see who is here today. Lava is here. Good to see you, Lava. Hope you're doing well. Xing Jing is here. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming by. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If I didn't, I apologize, but thanks for dropping by. And if there's anything I can help you with, please let me know. Paxton is here. Good to see you, Packy. Hope you are doing well. Hope Tracy is doing well. Dan is here with the proverbial peace sign. Right on, brother. I appreciate that, and peace right back at you. Kamal is here. Hello, Mr. Kamal. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate everything that you do for this channel, Kamal, and really do, as always, appreciate your friendship. Hope you're having a good day. Johnson is here. Nice to see you, Johnson. Hello, Greg and all. Hello, Johnson. Hope you're having a good day. Lova with the analysis. Walmart. All right, let's get over to Walmart. Take a look at Walmart. Walmart, under over 200 SMA. That did happen, but it happened about 4 or 5 days ago, right? Bullish engulfing bar, that is true. It's above the 50 RSI and the 50 SMA, that is also true. It's still in the value zone. I don't have it in the value zone here on my charts, Lova. You can, oh, well, okay, you got me. Yeah, technically it's in the value zone. As a deep dip, using the 200, the risk is low. Weekly is great. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly does look good. Weekly does look good. I mean, there's a chance Walmart could go up another couple bucks, but Man, I always feel like the Scrooge here, Lova, but I just don't like the risk to reward at this point. I mean, it's up, good, but I mean, if we use the 200-day moving average, this is what I'm talking about. Look how far the risk is down here. This would have been much better, obviously, because it's closer to the 200-day moving average. So all good points for sure. It is above the 5-day and the 10-day. That's good. It's 59. It already rejected the 60. I just feel like it's kind of range bound inside of this big bar here. So this is, and we broke out to a new high here. We're back in the range again. I think there's better risk to rewards than that, Leva, but thank you as always for putting in the time, for looking at those, and keep at it because I love your analysis. Miko is here. Good to see you, Miko. Good afternoon, Greg and Group. Hello, sir. Nice to see you. Hope you are having a good day. Hope you and your family are doing well. Steve Burns. Hey, bud. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming by as always. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, Steve. Thanks for all the great content, all your great books, all the great courses. And if you haven't been over to Steve's website, New Trader U, do yourself a favor. He has got a lot of free, great content over there. You can get his books, you can get his online courses, and Steve's made a huge difference in my trading career. And just want to thank you for that, Steve. I don't say that enough, but I really do mean that. Hope you and Holly are having a good day. And the dogs, of course, too. Steve says, I exited pins 30 minutes ago for a loss. Okay, so I'm going to go through those in a minute, and I'll take that off, Steve. Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel, Frank. Your wonderful God-gifted ability to write poems about trading. I hope there's a trading book coming out. I think it'd be a big seller. I'll do everything I can do to promote it. And I know it would be a really great seller. I just know it. Everybody knows it, right? Like it's just obvious. Steve says SCCO almost has a 520 EMA crossover. Copper is a great place to be in the inflationary environment. Silver and gold up nicely today. Yep, metals are up good. SCCO. I've seen this trade several times. Let's see, what do we have? 71.49, 71.63. So not quite there. Maybe tomorrow, but you're right. In inflationary environment, commodities do well. Steve says Peloton is now Pelotank. Oh, PTON. Oh boy. What was that down yesterday? That was down 14.56%. That's Peloton. Wow. Steve says INDA almost has a 1050 EMA crossover. Yes, getting very close on the 1050 EMA for sure. I mean, look at this run on India. I mean, it was up here, it came down, couldn't find a bottom. Well, it did find a bottom. Steve found the bottom to the day. Found the bottom, as well as Tracy and Paxton, then had a little move up, had a little bit of a reaction, and then broke out again. This one, of course, for me is not available to me to trade because it's above the second ATR channel. But you're right, getting close to that 1050 EMA. David says, hello, Gregorian traders. Hello, good to see you, David. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. In Colorado, hope the shoulder's doing well. I think last time we spoke it was. Steve says close to a 1030 EMA crossover on VIX with no sell-off in SPY at all. Industrials still strong. Yeah, so when the 1030 EMA crosses, Steve has a strategy where he buys weekly at the money puts, because that is a good back-tested approach of shorting the market through puts, expressing the trade through puts, but only when the 1030 EMA crossover on VIX has happened. Let me see, do I have that chart, I believe, somewhere. Oh, maybe I don't. I used to have it. Oh, there it is. Ooh, it's getting pretty close. 1857 to 1868. So not quite there. Could happen tomorrow for sure. Wow. Steve says most tech stocks are now down 20% to 50% from their peaks with indexes near all-time high. This is a huge divergence. It is, for sure. There's been a lot of money rotating out of tech and into industrials. Yuvar is here. Good to see you, Yuvar. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Brian says, hello, all. Ford, Brian M. Well, let's take a look at Ford. I haven't looked at Ford for a while. Good. It's nothing that would jump off the page to me, Brian, just because, we did have a double bottom here, a little bit of a divergence, not a legitimate one. We're coming into the value zone. I imagine once we get into the value zone up around nearing 50 RSI, we'll probably have a pullback. As always, when we close below the -1 ATR channel, unless it's a deep dip buy, I like to see it rally into the value zone first, have a bit of a pullback, retest the -1 ATR channel with the V1 or V2 trigger. So I would be a little concerned about buying. You're buying inside of this big bar here. Love us. So okay, so your 200-day moving average is different than mine because your charts are not factoring in dividends and splits on your charts, and not all charting platforms have the option. So the key is, I believe that the most valid chart is to set your charts adjusting for dividends, because when you're adjusting for dividends, money comes out all the time from the dividends and it reduces the price of the stock, and therefore it changes the value of the 200 SMA. If you're not adjusting for dividends, that's why we have the difference. So, but it doesn't mean mine's right and yours wrong. My advice, Lova, is stick to what you have on your chart. Don't go off of mine. If you can change it to adjust it, I would. But if you can't, just work with what you have. All right. Because sometimes I'm going to get into a trade that might become a loss and you'll never get into it and you won't have loss. See what I mean? Sometimes I'll get into a trade, which you don't get into a trade. I'll have the win. You won't have the win. So it kind of washes itself out. But I think the most valid price, I think what the large financial institutions look at are the adjusted charts. Paxton said they had to recall their treadmills. Yes, I saw that. Brian says, my Roku train has left the station. Yeah, let's take a look. Oh, Brian, were you on the short side of that? I hope so. Lilia, hi Lilia, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you and the dogs are doing well, and please say hello to the doggies for me. Paxton says, does MA do well with the intraday rejection of the 50 SMA? That I don't know. I've never back tested that, but the 50 SMA is a good, it is a significant level of resistance. But Paxton, what I don't like on this right here is yesterday we had the big down bar. Okay, if we get a big down bar and we bounce, where do we bounce? Usually about halfway, right? That's why we use halfway of washout bars for support. Today, it got there, tested it, and has failed. Yes, it is still above the 50. You could buy it above the 50 and use that 50 as your line in the sand for tomorrow, but I don't like the preceding bar. It was larger than 1 ATR, and today we've rallied only back to half of it. So that probably wouldn't be something that was on my radar. Okay, let's quickly go through and take a look at current positions, and then we'll get on to Frank's poem. All right. AGQ having a great day for Gary and I. These are weekly bars. We had it pull back into the value zone, sideways motion, V2, under 50 RSI, over 50 RSI, under 50, over 50 with the false breakout to the downside. Gary and I bought here at 43.96. It's 51.17. So this weekly trade has been outstanding. This trade is up 14.34% total, and it's up 11.75% just this week. So I've been in this trade for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, but it has been a monster trade. So I'll see how this closes tomorrow on Friday. We'll see what's going on with it. Almost up to my trailing stop level, although I will have to adjust this based on volatility, but I'll check that out tomorrow. But nonetheless, great day, up 6.54%. Goldman Sachs has been a monster. It just keeps going up. I did buy Goldman Sachs back here at 335.28 with a 520 crossover, moved up, took some profits, had one big bar down. It closed below both the 5 and the 20. Those were the two moving averages that I used to enter the trade. That's a bit of a bearish sign. That's a bit of a red flag. So as a precautionary measure, I did get out of half. However, I kept the other half. That's why, selling half, in my opinion, is such a great way to go. If you're wrong, if you sell and it goes down, you're glad you sold half. If you sell and it goes up like it did for me, you're glad you still have half. So we are at 70 RSI right now. I did hit another profit target at 361.12. This trade from entry to current price is up 7.84%. Now look, we're at 70.08 RSI here. So if we are above 70. If it closes below 70, I will have to go ahead and just get out of half of my position. And then if I get a close below the previous day's low, I'll get out of the other half. But this has been a really, really great trade. Honeywell, I really like this trade. If you remember, Paxton and Tracy, David, Frank, and I did buy this return to value. Nice, beautiful sideways motion, false breakout to the downside. V1 bullish engulfing bar and a 520 cross. If I'm not going to take that, what am I going to take, right? I got in at 225.14. It's 227.41. Did hit one profit target. This trade is up 1.03%, but not too bad. Not too bad. Everything considered for a couple days. KMX, ooh boy, this was such a great trade, and I'll tell you what I did today. I bought this all the way back here at 131.21 with a 520 crossover, moved up beautifully, right? Just one-way train all the way up here. I scaled out, and this is kind of what I wanted to point out. This is why I scale out, because look what happened today. Down 6.09%. But, am I up on the trade still? I am, because once it got back to my entry point intraday, I just took it off. I'm not going to let this huge of a gain turn into a loss. That's just insult to injury. But the point is, that's why I take partial profits on the way up to reduce the amount of shares that I have. So if this does happen, I still can lock in a trade, a profit on the trade. And that's what I did. I got out today at 131.21. It just had a lot of momentum to the downside. It just looked horrible. But the main reason why I was so far in the trade, I'm not going to let that nice gain turn into a loss. So on the remaining shares, I sold at break even, but took profits here on the way up. So I am out of CarMax. I got out of this intraday. SPY. I do buy the SPY every day at the close, as you know. I bought it yesterday at 415.80, and I got out at, they're so close together I can barely tell. I got in at 415.75, and I got out at 415.80. So 5-cent profit, better than nothing. And of course, you know what my plan is on S&P. Every day I buy it, I hold it overnight, I take the overnight risk, I sell it first thing the next morning. Lastly, UNG. I bought this on the monthly chart along with Tracy and Paxton. I bought it here at 10.52 with a higher low V2. I bought it 10.52. It's at 10.52. So completely break even on that. Monthly trade, I will decide what to do with this at the last day of the month. Lastly, I had one intraday trade here on Adobe. And let me kind of explain my thinking process of why I took this trade. This is what I do. People ask me this a lot. When I looked at the daily, I was like, okay, we are right near the 200-day moving average. The assumption to me would be that there would be some buyers coming in at the 200-day moving average. So I could either, one, wait till after the close of the day to take a swing trade on this, but because it was right near the 200-day moving average, I went intraday and looked for a day trade. And this is what I found. So I look at the larger time frame, which was the daily, looking for support at the 200. Then I waited for an entry signal on the intrabar or intraday on the 5-minute. I had an under 30, over 30, under the 5 EMA, close over the EMA, close over the 5 EMA. I bought it at 477.60. Bars went up a little, not enough for me to take. This was a nice kind of big momentum up bar. I took half the position at 479.60, had another big up bar here, took it at 480.76, moved 1.5 ATRs away from my entry, had a close below the previous day's low here at 481, and then we got above 65 RSI, and then we had a close below the 5 EMA. So all in all, I bought at 477.60, sold some at 479.60, some at 480.76, some at 481 even, and some at 481.74. So not a lot of day trading today, but that was an excellent trade. Okay, let's head over, take a look at other at my students' positions. Gary bought a half a position of pets with this nice under 30, over 30 bullish engulfing bar. Bought it here at 29.49. It's currently 30.23. It is down a little bit today on the day, but not much. But Gary is up 2.45% on the trade. So way to go, Gary. Pins. Okay, so Steve mentioned this earlier. Steve did buy pins with the bounce near the 200-day and near the 30 RSI. He bought it at 61.37. Yesterday it was able to hold, but today it looks like it's lost the 200-day moving average, and so Steve mentioned earlier that he exited the trade. So we'll take that one off. CIEN. Now, who is this? Tracy and Paxton. All right. Nice. Close under the 200, close over the 200. That's a deep dip buy approach. Close under, close over. They bought at 51.35 yesterday. Went under the 2 days ago. Went under the 200-day, but was able to recover. That's why they kept it up yesterday and up nicely today, up 2.55%. So, way to go, Tracy and Paxton. Proud of you. I'm starting to really see a positive increase in your analysis and also getting out when you're supposed to with your end of day stop. So very, very proud of you too. And then lastly, ELY. Whoa, Frank. Holy Hannah, holy hamburgers. This is great. Frank bought, this is perfect. Look at this nice higher low V1 bullish engulfing bar. Bought here in the value zone. We want to buy in the value zone, sell above value. That's the key. You don't want to buy above value and sell when it comes back to value, right? Stocks are the only thing that people do not want anything on sale. Everyone else, they go out shopping, they want something on sale. With stocks, nope. I want to pay full freight. I want to pay as expensive as possible. That's not the way to do it, everyone. The way to do it, at the very least, if you're just dying to buy a stock, wait till it comes in the value zone. Wait till you have a trigger. Anyway, long way saying, Frank bought this at $27.75. It's $30.79. It's up 6.76% just today, up 10% even on the trade. Way to go, Frank. All right. Speaking of Frank, Frank has a poem for us. So let me put this in here. And let's read to see what Frank has to say. You know it's going to be good, right? We don't even have to question that. Worry less about what a stock will do and more about how its move will affect you. Managing risk keeps a portfolio from going askew because losses add up and they're hard to undo. Oh, Frank, I don't know how you can best yourself every day, but you do it. This is so great. I mean, there's so much wisdom packed into this poem. Worry less about what a stock will do and more about how its move will affect you. Managing risk keeps a portfolio from going askew because losses add up and they're hard to undo. Losses do add up easily, right? And once you've had the loss, it's kind of hard. I mean, if you have a big monster loss, it almost seems like, how can I ever make this back, right? That's why it's really important to not let those losses get there. I'm always looking at the risk first and the reward second. If I take a loss, boom, take a loss, get out. It's quick. I'm done. Why do I do that? It's psychology, everyone. It's I don't want to. I don't want to feel like I'm up against a mountain of losses that I have to overcome, because I don't know about you. That sometimes changes my thinking and makes me do things that I'm not supposed to do. If I can keep drawdowns small, then it keeps my thinking clear, right? It's always easier to make money when you're making money. But if you have a big loss, like generally your intention, or at least mine, is that I want to make it back quickly. And it never works, right? So how do I avoid that? I try to avoid taking losses in the first place. And you're like, no kidding, duh, Greg, right? We all want to do that. But, let's flesh that out a little bit more. I buy conservative position sizes. I buy good risk to reward ratios, right? So there's a method to the madness for sure. Steve says, thank you, Frank. That was excellent. Steve says, Etsy destroyed after earnings today. Oh, let's look at Etsy. Actually, let me take care of a little business over here. Taking care of business. All right. And take care of a little business over here. Got to take care of business. All right. I've been taking care of business a lot lately. That's an inside joke. I'm sure somebody will get that. Okay. Etsy. Oy vey. Look at that, everybody. Down 15%. Again, another example of why it's probably not a good idea to hold through earnings. Doesn't mean this could happen. It could have gone up 15%. But remember, your main focus, your main rule of managing trades is to protect against losses first. And the best way that you can take a loss, a big loss, fast, quickly, in seconds, is to get in front of earnings. So, I know I say this ad nauseum, but I say it with love, everyone. Put yourself in the position where you do not have events that can really destroy your account. And holding through earnings is one of them. Think of the people that bought yesterday, right at the close. Oh, Etsy's earnings are going to be big. Well, so they're stuck almost 15% right here, right now. Am I interested down here? I don't know. We are getting the 6th ATR channel. We are getting the 250. I would at least wait for a close back above the 200 or a rejection of the 250. That's how I would look at this. Ava is here. Nice to see you, Ava. Hope you're having a good day. Happy day, Greg and all. Nice to see you. Ava says VMW. VMW. You know what I do like about this, Ava, is we had a V1 to the downside yesterday. Here's day one, day two, went above day one, closed below. That's bearish. But if you can get a V1 to the downside that is immediately reversed to the upside, I like that. It also went red-green on the charts, which I don't talk about much, but that is good. Looks like we probably rejected no, we never rejected the 50R side, but we did get back above the 5 EMA. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly's holding the 5 EMA on the week. It's a little high for me, but it does look like a pretty good risk to reward ratio. I like that we had a big, strong move up, and we kind of took our time coming down into the value zone. Not a lot of big bars larger than 1 ATR, huge volume. But you see here, you see the volume on the way up, big. On the way down, not really that big. So, and we have an increased volume here on the move up today. I quite like that. I actually quite like that a lot, Ava. Good analysis. Really, really great. Yeah, I like the structure of that. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. I like that quite a bit. My stop would probably be close below halfway of this washout bar here. Yeah, I do like that. As a matter of fact, what is that? VMW? I'm going to put that on there. Brian says, quite a bit of falling knives in tech world, 100%. Lovis says, great on ELY. Frank says, thank you. Dan says, thumbs up. Kamal says, Apple, Q's both V1. Yeah, I have Q's on the list to look at. Yes, we do have a V1 on Apple. Only thing is we're running into that confluence, Kamal, of the big move down. See the big bar here, move down. We're right back at halfway, and we're also right back at the 100-day moving average. So that's what concerns me a little bit on that. Kamal says, Fastly earnings. All right, if Greg could spell, that would be amazing. Oh, wow, look at that. Oy vey. Down 27.64%. Not good. 17 RSI, Kamal. I haven't seen one of those for a while. CERN. Oh, okay. I'm running short on time here, guys, so I'm gonna have to get motor in. No, I wouldn't buy that. Not a good risk to reward. Frank says, Peloton recall means goodbye to my coat rack. Isn't that how it goes? Everybody buys the home equipment and ends up being that. All right, let's get to trader psychology real quick before we get on taking a look. This is from Trading Composure. You know, this is one of my favorite channels. He does on Twitter. He does a really great job with trader psychology, and trader psychology is huge, everybody. That's why I do this little portion every day. And Trading Composure, at Trading Composure on Twitter. Please follow him. He does a wonderful job. I always read everything he posts. But, you know, I read this and this spoke to me for a couple different reasons. As far as trading goes, for sure. You don't deal with chaos by being chaotic yourself. You deal with chaos via structure. That's what a plan provides. And in regards to trading, trading is chaotic. It's chaotic. It's random walk down Wall Street, right? Some people would argue that fact, but yes, it is chaos, but you have to make order out of chaos. And how do you do that? You do it through structure. What does that mean? You do it through technical analysis. You do it through, oh, hey, this was an intraday rejection of the 200-day moving average. And if I'm wrong, I can be wrong small. If I'm right, I can have an outsized win, right? That's what's so important. It doesn't, technical analysis is not a leading indicator. It's not telling you what's going to happen in the future at all, right? If you think that's true, you're mistaken. But it does give you structure inside of chaos that you can create good risk to reward ratios, position size around, and plan your trade around. And that's what he says here. That's what a plan provides. That's why I'm saying you need a full plan, not just where do I exit and how many shares, or where do I enter and how many shares. That's only part of it. You need a complete plan. Position size for volatility. Where's your end of day stop? Where's your emergency stop? Where are your intraday profit targets? Where are your key overhead and resistance levels? Do you have a trailing stop protocol or rules in place? That's what we're talking about. Trading is chaos, but you need a plan and the structure and levels from technical analysis to give you a good risk to reward structure. And it's the same thing in life, right? We can get outside of trading. If you're in a chaotic situation, get yourself a plan. Having a plan is the only way to deal with chaos and give you some structure. So thank you very much. There's a lot said in here in these three sentences, but I'm going to read them one more time. Listen and internalize. You don't deal with chaos by being chaotic yourself. You deal with chaos via structure. That's what a plan provides. And the structure in trading is technical analysis and having the plan, the components of the plan that I just mentioned. Thank you. That was helpful for me as always. Hopeful was helpful for you. Steve says, LOL, Frank, 99% of gym equipment are used as clothing racks. I 100% agree. All right. All right. Before I start looking at new stuff, let me take a look at old stuff. All right. So profit targeted there on AGQ, doing really great on the weekly. No change there. Goldman Sachs, I am going to have to watch and see. Oh, did I hit a profit target? Did anybody hear it? 364.52. Oh, look at that. Say it and it will happen. All right. All right, so just hit another profit target there on Goldman Sachs. It is above the 70 RSI, so as long as it's above 70, it's a keeper. Honeywell. Okay, Honeywell. Doing well, up $1.83 now, up 0.84%. So that's looking like it's making a high on the day. CarMax I'm out of. I got back. I took some profits on the way up, got back at break even. SPY having a big day now. I mean, from after being down. Of course, I'm buying this at the close. And then UNG is my boring monthly trade, which I'm up a penny. So that's good. All right, everybody ready? There's a lot to choose from here today. This is not going to be easy. All right, let's start with Qualcomm. Qualcomm has a V1. It's a higher low V1, rejection of the -1 ATR channel. Did it reject the 50 RSI already? We shall see. Yes, it did. So it rejected the 50 RSI already today. If I was in this trade, I'd be getting out of half, so I'm not going to take a new trade on that. Nike. Nike does backtest well with the 520 EMA crossover. It's very close, 132.44 to 132.58, so it's not quite there yet. Adobe would be okay. I mean, it's a rejection of the 200, rejection of the 50. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly is still in the value zone. I'd like it a little better if the weekly was back on the 50 there, so I'm probably going to pass on that. IBB on the weekly has rejected the 50, which is good. On the daily, that's not too bad. It's a false breakout to the downside from this low. It's also a deep dip buy close back above the 200 on a lot of volume. I kind of like it. So I'm getting rid of Qualcomm. Nike's not there yet. Adobe's okay. IBB's okay. Intel is, well, it's a V1 to the downside yesterday. Now a move back up. So remember, a negative, a V1 to the downside or a bearish V1 followed by a positive is a pretty good sign back over the -3rd ATR channel. I think I like the other ones better, but it looks pretty good. Gilead is interesting. I'll bet Kamal you noticed this, but we had a 520 crossover yesterday. Today we came back down. We tested the 50 RSI, we tested the 5, we tested the 10, we tested the 20, and moved back off of there. I like buying dips after crossovers happen, and that would have been a good place for me if I was paying attention to look intraday. Would I buy it here? Probably not. The Qs, okay, so we have a V1. We did reject the 50 the 50 EMA. A lot of times that 50 EMA does hold as support. I feel like I'm kind of trying to make this trade work. I mean, the Qs have sold off. It is a V1. The one thing I do like about this is the washout bar, halfway of the washout, if based upon this V1, right? Here's day 1, here's day 2. Day 2 washes out day 1, closes above day 1's close. Excuse me. But I like how the 50 EMA dovetails right there with the 50, the halfway of the washout bar dovetails halfway with the 50 EMA. Let's see, how high did we get? I'm still a little concerned about the NASDAQ right now. I just feel like we're still going to have some volatility. So I don't think I'm going to take the cues. Zoom, under 30, over 30. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly still does not have any support underneath. I'd like it better if we were here at the negative second ATR channel, something like that. So I'm not going to take Zoom either. Twitter, I've been looking for a bounce or a rejection of that 200-day moving average. It still has not come, so nothing there. DocuSign, under 30, over 30. Let's check the weekly. Weekly blew through support here. I think this could go down more. So yes, it is an under 30, over 30, but that's all it is. So I'm going to pass on that. I kind of like Microsoft. I like it better than the Qs. The Qs had such a much larger bar down. Microsoft did have 2 days here. I kind of like Microsoft, I've got to say. I kind of like Microsoft here with this 2 days of holding V1, rejection of the -1 ATR channel, and a V1. It's a little different than normally than trades that I would take, but I do kind of like this actually. SPCE, under 30, over 30. We've never got there. Fiverr, under 30. Oh, no, it's not back over 30. Let's check the weekly. Weekly I like. See how we rejected the 50-week moving average? I like that looking at the larger time frame. And it is an under 30, over 30. I don't know. Then we have the 200 right above, but it's not over 30, so never mind. I think I'm just going to let this one go. VMW is the one that Ava talked about, VMware. I do like that. I really do. I do quite like that. On the weekly, we're a little high, but we are holding the 5 EMA. That one's not too shabby. And then Nike, do we have the crossover? Not yet. So Adobe is a possibility here with the rejection of the 50, the 200. IBB is definitely a good risk to reward ratio here, and it was a false breakout from the downside over here. That is also good. A lot of volume here. There was a big reversal. I like Microsoft the best. This is a kind of a strange setup for me. But I do like how we came down, we've held the 50 EMA, held the 50 EMA, held the 50 EMA, plus a nice V1. On the daily, we have the 10 and the 1 ATR channel as support below. So yeah, Microsoft is definitely my favorite today. All right, so let me put Microsoft up here. And then my stop's going to be halfway the washout bar, which dovetails really, really nicely with the 50 EMA. That's what I like. That's what I like. My trading platform is starting to get a little slow, so I'm gonna have to probably try to log back in. I don't want to get caught at the end of the day with a freeze, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Steve's talking about the IBB 200-day reversal. Yes. Love says, Microsoft, we're halfway of the high volume big bar from Thursday. Yeah, but I like the confluence. Like I said, I like that it washed out this range, had the V1. I mean, who knows, right? But I'm not so concerned about that because of the confluence there of the 50 and the lows there. And this bar was not that much larger than 1 ATR in the first place. All right, let me make sure. Is my Goldman Sachs okay? Seems to be. It's above 70, so that's a holder. Honeywell, doing great. That's a holder. KMX, I'm already out. Break even, I'll be buying SPY here. And UNG, so that's all good. That's all fine. So I'm just going to wait 8 minutes here till the end of the day, and I'm going to buy Microsoft. $39.26. Okay. What's Amazon doing today? Yeah, it's up a little bit. But I'm not too concerned, Love, about Microsoft's this bar. Yeah, it was, but it wasn't like a 2 ATR. It wasn't that crazy. But then we held, and again, we have the false breakout to the downside from these two lows plus the V1. But it's what really is drawing to me to this trade is the confluence of halfway of the washout bar really kind of dovetailing with that 50 EMA. And the 50 EMA, we don't look at it a lot, but it can tend to be a good level. Well, we're getting some buying here at the end, which is nice. Honeywell, way to go, Honeywell. Five minutes to go. Twitter, yeah. If it was a V1, it'd be better. I mean, you could buy Twitter here, you know. I mean, it's a good risk to reward ratio to the 200-day. I just made the determination in my mind that I was waiting for an under 200 over 200, and that's it, you know. But it's good risk to reward ratio. I mean, I'm just being a little persnickety about it, but that's okay. Still under 30 RSI. I would buy this if it were still under 30 RSI, Kamal, if I had the 200-day below it, because then it's a real level of support. If you're below the 200 and you're below the 30, then you don't have anything below you. But at least you have this 200, and you can see the last couple of days it has held pretty well at that level. Honeywell making a high on the day. Way to go. Hit that profit target too. Come on there, buddy. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Three minutes to go. All right. Let me get Microsoft all keyed up and ready. All right, I'm going to buy Microsoft right now. All right, I'm done. About 30 seconds to go, everybody. All right. Sweet. Good day. Good day, good day. Uh-huh. All right. Let's see. I bought SPY at 419.07, and I bought Microsoft at 249.66. Apple went screaming up there at the last little bit. All right, Microsoft. I bought Microsoft. Oh, that's going to be my stop tomorrow. Yeah, I'll use that one. That seems about the right place. All right, I bought Microsoft at 249.66. And I bought overnight SPY at 419.07. Nice strong close. That's good. 419.07. All right. Done and done. So listen, if you have any new entries for me, if my students have any new entries for me today, please go ahead, put them up on the board. I will get them taken care of. But before I do, just real quick, 3 points of business. Just want to remind everybody, I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I do a good job of it. I have a really good course. I teach you all 5 of my different trading approaches step by step. So it's black and white. You're not going to have any there's not going to be should I not. I mean, if I've done my job right when I've taught you all 5 of these approaches, you will know how to trade them. And I see my students here. I love it when I see them catching on, and I see them adhering to their stops and doing what they're supposed to do. But I will teach you all the approaches I use. There are different type of approaches. Sometimes you can use them in deep dip buy situations, the market's going down, when the market's trending, when it's going sideways, higher low V1s, V2s, return to value V1s, double bottoms, bullish divergences. And when you're done with this course, you're going to be a better trader. I promise you. I've seen it. I've taught a lot of people over the years, and I can just see it. So if you are interested, the course does cost $1,750, but I promise you it is worth every penny because of the amount of hours that you get of one-on-one trading and the personalized attention you get from working with me on a one-on-one basis. So if you're interested, send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. Just put in the subject line, hey Greg, interested in possibly taking your one-on-one course. I will reply and say, great, thanks for saying hi. Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is free. I promise you, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to get to know you better, understand what you're after, what you want to learn, what your trading challenges are, what your goals are. And then it's a good time for you to ask me any specific questions you have about the format of the course. All right. And then when we're done with the call, take as much time as you need. And if you decide, hey, I think I should take this course with Greg, just email me back and we'll get it scheduled, and away we will go. And I will start teaching you everything I know, and I work really hard at it. And it's very important that my students succeed. Number 2, it's called the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. It's a great course. It's very affordable. It's like $12 to $15, but it's not a rinky-dink course. I promise you. It's 9.5 hours of video, 26 videos total, 15 study guides, and I teach you exactly step by step how to use the Deep Dip Buy approach. And it's a wonderful course. I've gotten so many great reviews and so much great feedback on it. I promise you can feel very comfortable taking that course, and I know it's going to help your trading. And the link to that is the link to udemy.com is in the description below. And lastly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It helps to build the channel, helps to keep the channel around, lets YouTube know that there's some valid content here, and it really does help out the channel a lot. So, if you found something helpful today, if you could take a second and hit the thumbs up button before you get on with your day, that would really be great. Okay, business done. Excuse me. And what am I doing? Does anybody know what I'm doing? Okay, Steve, IBB. $148.21. I like that trade. Nice close back above the 200, rejection of the 200, intraday rejection of the 200. 148.21. Good entry price. And that's Steve. Good luck with that one, Steve. Lova says, thank you, Greg. Your detailed explanations are already appreciated. I hope that helped, Lova. I hope that helped. If you're not sure, please let me know. Johnson said, Teladoc bounce from the negative third ATR channel. I think you may be using EMAs on yours. Mine's SMA, so that's why it's a little bit different. But I don't see that, and it's still under the 30 RSI, Johnson. Steve says, I'm long SCCO. Oh, okay. Oh, you got the crossover, Steve? I must have rallied there at the end. 71.68, 71.68. When they're equal, that does count as a crossover. And I learned that from Steve. Way to go, Steve. $72.93. And that's Steve. Oh, I better put their 520 crossover. All right, good luck with that, Steve. Kamal says, IBB, joining New Trader U on that trade. Excellent. Kamal has been very patient, waiting for his trades. And I think that is a totally legit trade, Kamal. So good luck for you and Steve on that one. Paxton is also an IBB. All right. Paxton and Tracy. And in Microsoft. Okay. Really proud of Paxton and Tracy with their trades lately. And I can tell you're being patient, adhering to your stops. David is in Microsoft as well. Frank says, SCCO goes with my long-term account of DBC commodities. Okay, so we'll put Frank over here in SCCO. Done and done. All right, let's see. Anything happening after hours? Apple down a little, AGQ down a little. Oh, okay. Goldman Sachs up again. What's SPY doing? Down, SPY down just a touch. VIX down 15 cents. Wow, VIX went negative after being up bigly earlier. Great day. All in all, man, just great day. Jonathan is in Microsoft. Okay, let's put Jonathan on there. Hope you're doing well, Jonathan. I miss our lessons. That's the thing with my students. I get to know them so well, and we go weeks of teaching, and then it's we're done. And by the way, if you do become a student of mine, we're never done, right? Even after your lessons are done, if you ever need help from me, if you ever want to have a follow-up Skype call, if I'm available, I'm there for you for sure. Okay. All right, so listen, I say this every day, but I really do mean it. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Kornfeld. It's simple, but it's true, everybody. Would it be that hard if we just did one random act of kindness daily? And actually, yesterday, I put my money where my mouth was, or my actions where my mouth was. I was up hiking, as you know I do every day. And I came across this envelope. I looked in the envelope, check for $1,750. Crazy, right? And on the check, it said it was for some trim at a certain location. And it's funny because there was this girl on a mountain bike that came by me a couple times. She says, hello. I'm like, hello. And she had a hard time with her cycling, and she had to like push her bike, and she seemed kind of embarrassed. And I was like, oh, it's hard. Don't worry about it. You know, she seemed super embarrassed. So anyway, After that, I saw the check. I picked it up and I was like, oh, this isn't too far from my house. So I'm just going to drive it down. So I drive it down. I knock on the door. She answers the door. She's like, hey, from the trail, right? Total stalker. Like I followed her to her house. She had that look on her face like, didn't I just see you on the trail? How do you know where I live? Anyway, I said, did you lose a check? And she goes, you have my check? I'm like, I do. I found it on the trail. She's like, oh my gosh. So anyway, that was my good deed for the day. But let's try to do one of those every day, right? And one nice thing for a human, and if you could also do it for an animal, that would be nice. Animals are feeling beings, right? They like when you're nice to them. They like random acts of kindness as well. So can we just try to go out and do that? One nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal. It will make them feel good. It will make you feel good. And it's a win-win all around. Lilia says, thank you, Greg, for everything. Have a great rest of your day. You too, Lil. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Give my best to the dogs, okay? Ava says, really appreciate everyone here. I do as well, Ava. I really do. I appreciate all of you being here, all of your input. And Kamal says, thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Kamal. Appreciate that. Yeah, if you could, I would appreciate the thumbs up. They're free today, by the way. You can give a thumbs up for free. So it's a special. So today would be the day to do it. Yeah, I like Microsoft there. We'll see what happens. But I like the confluence of the 50-day moving, the 50 EMA, false breakout to downside. Pretty sweet V1 for sure, right? If we look over at the weekly, it did catch support at the 1 ATR channel and the 10-day EMA underneath it. It did lose the 5-day earlier in the day, but when I look at the weekly charts, I want to make sure that there's something. What it really comes down to is there's something that if there's something I hate about it, I don't want it. There were quite a few that we looked at today where there was no support on the weekly charts, right? But there is support here on the weekly. So if there's something I hate about it, I won't take the daily. And what does that mean? It's up near the 3rd ATR channel. I'm not going to do it there, or lost some major support. But it's very important to look at setups in multiple time frames. Right? That's what Dr. Elder really taught me. Dr. Alexander Elder really taught me. You have to trade looking at the larger time frame, the larger charts to see if there is some supporting support, right? Zing Z says thumbs up. Here we go. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I appreciate you coming, Zing. And if there's anything I can help you with ever, please let me know. It's always nice to have our new people here and welcome them and try to make them part of our little trading community and family here. Jonathan says, cheers, guys. Thank you, Jonathan. Hope you're doing well. Hope the little guy's doing well. Hope your family's doing well. And give your best to my wife. Tell her hi from Greg. And so Steve and Frank, SCCO, IBB, Paxton and IBB and Microsoft. All right. That all looks fantastic-y. Zing says, hi, saw someone recommend your channel over other channels. Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm glad you found us. Please keep coming back. Frank says, just a note of interest. I was late getting my order in, so they tried to charge a 40-cent spread. I refused to pay and ended up with my price. Way to go, Frank. Truth to power, buddy. Truth to power. Do you see that? We can learn something from Frank. Frank stood his ground, did not pay the 40% spread, and he ended up with the price that he deserved. Way to go. Nice. Okay. Well, if anybody has any other questions or needs help with anything or has any jokes or haikus, this would be the time to do it. It is a beautiful day here. I am going to put on my hiking clothes, go for a nice hike, nice and sunny, warm, feels like summer's here. I'm telling you, summer is my time, everybody. That is my blooming time. Winter, not so great. Not so great. All right. All right. Frank says, I love to garden. There you go. You seem like a gardener to me, Frank. Okay. I think that's it. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Be good, be safe, drive safe. Right? Maybe study your charts, have some fun, do some deep breathing. Take a moment for yourself. Reflect on life and trading. And yeah, really great, wonderful day today. Very thankful for that. Always thankful for when I have a nice green day. Never try to take it for granted, everybody. And you know, I saw somebody the other day without a nose. Like I really did. And you know, let's be thankful for things that we don't think about or we're not grateful for. We just assume are going to be there, like our noses, right? So let's be grateful that we're alive and breathing and have the ability to trade. And so there you go. Good night to you, Zing. Appreciate that. So, okay. Take care, everybody. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.